Hey everyone, and welcome to the 139th episode of YarnGasm. I am Kristin, also known as Voolenvine on Ravelry and pretty much everywhere else on the web. I have a co-host today. It's been a while since Bella made an appearance on the show, but she's here sitting in my lap and totally comfortable. So, you want to say hey? Yeah, she'll just hang out. Or not. But anyway, so this is a knitting, spinning, and hand dyeing podcast. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you are a new viewer, welcome to the show. I hope you enjoy. Again, I have to mention the weather because spring is finally in the air. It is beautiful outside. Why I'm sitting on the inside is ridiculous. I should be recording outside. But I have my whole setup here, so I'm just gonna roll with it. But after this, I'm totally going to take a walk out. So anyway, I have some updates to talk about, some kind of housekeeping notes. As of yesterday, the YarnGasm podcast has its own domain. Yay! So it is going to be, or it is, now if you go to YarnGasmPodcast, all one word, .com, so YarnGasmPodcast.com, it will take you to the blog and the show notes and where you can watch the video. So yay! I'm excited about that. So that said, I am going to move on to, do I have anything off the needles? No, I don't, but I have stuff that is on the needles. That's always good, right? So let me see. I have, I don't know if I should talk about enabling first, because I do have a lot of stuff to show you. I guess I'll just talk about this now and then the rest of the enabling later on in the show, but I'll talk about this now. Anyway, sorry. So I got some bags from Molly of A Homespun House. As you know, she designs these beautiful bags, project bags, and brooches. I'm actually wearing one right now, and not to steal from Melinda of the Yarnder Woman podcast, but I am broaching the subject right now. Molly had sent me a bunch of brooches to give away on the for the D-Spackle that I am hosting. So she said I could keep one. So I had to keep the cat. I am an all-out cat lady today. I started the podcast out with a cat on my lap. I have a cat pin, brooch. Is there a right, wrong, tomato? I don't know. Brooch. I don't know. And I'm wearing the earrings. I don't know if you can see those. Yeah, my camera. There you go. Yay, little kitty earrings. So, full-on cat lady today. No shame whatsoever. So yeah, I will show those off when I talk about the D-Spackle, but Molly, thank you. But yes, I did get some awesome project bags from her. She wanted to know which fabric. She sent me photos of the fabric that she got and let me pick which ones I wanted. Yeah. More cats, y'all. I got her Naughty Kitty. I should show with the label on it. Yeah, because it's pretty. The Naughty Kitty fabric with the red. It's almost like a canvas fabric at the bottom. But how cute is that? It totally looks like Bella, but generally Bella is not as sinister looking as this. But I just had to get it because I had to. It just reminded me of her. And then, let me see. Oh, here's her little birdhouse stitch minder, or what were the place marker. It's a little birdhouse. It's really cute. And here's her label. There we go. And I am actually trying a new setting on my camera. And trying not to move around as much as I have been on previous episodes, because I know I'm very animated on the show, so I'm trying to just kind of not move as much so the autofocus doesn't, I know some of you are sensitive to the autofocus, so I'm trying not to move around as much just to prevent any seasickness, because I know that can get annoying. So anyway, I am working on back to what's on the needles. My Canopy Shawl by Melody of the Mandarins podcast. I'm mid-row actually, but I'm making slow progress on this, but I am making progress, which is always good. So here it is. And I'm on the second lace repeat. And there's the beading. Let's see. I don't know if you can see the beading, but I'm adding beads to the triangle portions of the lace. And I think it's going to be this will be a really cool kind of evening shawl, I think. I don't know, it's very fun. And the yarn is Voolenvine in I can never remember it, so I'm just going to say what it is in English. A Little Bit Crazy, which is a dark royal purple with subtle tonal shifts in there. I can't really see it here, but yeah, I'm coming along with it. And I'm using Carbon's interchangeables on, they're size US 8, but 5.5 millimeter interchangeable Carbons. So love knitting with these. And here's the cake. And then, let me see. What else is I going to show you? So yeah, that's one project that I've been working on. I'm trying to think if there's any issues I've been having with it. I had to frog back. That is why it's taking me, I'm not too far in it. Because last week when I was working on it, I happened to be having a video chat with Maria of the Subway Knits podcast and Laura of A Dyer's Notebook and Jinx Yarns. We occasionally do virtual knit nights on Google Chat. So I was, of course, asking for it. And I said this while I was talking to them. I was working on this and I said, I'm really asking for it because I am totally going to have to rip back. But I'm like, no, it's pretty, you know, I will say this, like the pattern is very potato chippy in that if you do a couple of stitches from the lace repeat, you can easily memorize it. So I had that in my head. I was like, okay, I'll just memorize each repeat, what have you. But yeah, after I was done talking with them, I looked at my knitting and there were 3 extra stitches that should not have been there. And there was a big gaping hole after one of the triangles in here. So rip back. So yeah, that was a little hiccup. But yeah, otherwise I'm loving the pattern and it's knitting up beautifully. So I will zip that up in here. Love this bag. So Molly had also sent me a photo of this fabric that she got and has octopuses on it. And she's like, you want one of these too? I'm like, yes. So I got one of these from her as well. And there's her label again. And then it has this really adorable gingham pink lining on the inside. I love it. Oh God, her bags are awesome. I really love them. And I will, of course, post a link to her link to her shop in the show notes. And last week, I apologize. I was horrible at show notes. I did not. If you have a question about anything that I mentioned in last week's episode, or if I don't mention anything in the show notes, please reach out to me and I will let you know. I would be happy to let you know what I was talking about and link to them. Send you a link. Yeah, because I know I can slack on that sometimes. But you know, all you can do is rewatch the podcast to the point where I talk about it. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I was talking with Molly. She had cast on this pattern called a Mama Ruffle shawl, which I think is a hilarious name. I don't know why. You've probably seen it. It's this beautiful, it's very simple actually. It's a simple triangular shawl with a lace spine, and then it has like 2 layers of, I want to say Shetland lace ruffles at the end. It's like 2 layers, like one on top of each other, so that gives it's not super ruffly at all, but just like this double layer of Shetland lace on top. So she sent me a photo and I immediately fell in love with it. It almost reminds me of something right out of the Outlander series, which I'll talk a little bit about later. But yeah, obviously I got super excited about it. And then she said, you know, she wanted to know if I wanted to join along and knit one with her. And of course I was like, yes. So I went immediately, I went stash diving and pulled out, I mean, I could have used my hand dyed yarn, but I kind of wanted to use something for my stash since it's ever growing. So I pulled out all these contenders and then cast on a bunch. I just was not liking the way the original colorways that I was picking out were knitting up with it. So anyway, long story short, I decided to go with some yarn from my stash because I caved and I knit a swatch and I was like, yes, this is it. So some needles, some stitches fell off the needles at some point. I feel like there's a lot of backstory or just all these little anecdotes attached to whatever I'm talking about today. So bear with me. But yes, I have gotten really far in this. Because I said, it's the beginning part is very simple, very straightforward, very potato chippy, and I'm mid-row right now. So yeah, and let me talk about the yarn. This is Cascade 220 in their fingering line and in the sage colorway. It really doesn't look like sage. It's more kind of like a light jadeite color, I want to say. Really not my... I guess, I don't really wear teals, I want to say. I mean, I do, but it's not my favorite. And especially pastels. Pastels aren't me, so I really don't know what I was thinking when I purchased this about a year ago. The concept was, the backstory here was, when I got this yarn, I purchased it a year ago, because I was hanging out with Dana of the Dana Noodle Knits podcast. We were taking the train back from hanging out with Maria and a bunch of other friends, and she had the Bonnie tank on by Tin Can Knits, and she did a beautiful job knitting it, and I fell in love with it also, and I was like, in my head I was like, I want to cast one on as well. So this was the yarn that I had originally purchased for it, and after I kind of like admitted defeat, casting on the Mama Ruffle shawl, I already had this out, and I'm just like, well, you know, I've always wanted to knit that pattern, the Bonnie, so why don't I just cast it on now, like you do? So I began swatching with it, and just knowing myself, I was just like, I love the pattern and I want to be able to wear it, but I don't want to use this color because I know I don't really wear pastel light garments. So I frogged it, but then I was looking at the swatch and I said, yes, this is the yarn for the Mama Ruffle shawl. Did any of that make sense? So anyway, I am very far in this. And Molly also threw in a bunch of strawberry stitch markers. She really spoiled me. She went overboard, Molly. These are adorable. Look how adorable that stitch marker is. And she's very obsessed with strawberries at the moment. And they match my nail polish. Oh my God, that was not planned at all. But I really love the way the red pops against like the teal. So anyway, I'm almost done before the ruffle part. And because I don't have a contrasting color, the pattern actually calls for a contrasting color for the ruffle part. So I recently purchased, I'm still waiting for it to come. I ordered just a bare, plain, like natural white color to go with the teal. So yeah, it'll be lovely. I can't wait. So that's been living in my octopus bag, and I have this much yarn left. I believe there's just like a little bit more than 220 yards per skein, so I have an extra skein, which is good. But yeah, hopping to needle adjacent, the Bonnie tank, which I was talking about. I did purchase yarn recently. I'm still waiting for it to come. I purchased it with the Cascade 220 that I'm also waiting to come. I did some damage on Jimmy Bean's wool, but I do want to cast on the Bonnie tank. I purchased a skein of Madeline Tosh Prairie, which is their lace line, in the is it Grenadine colorway, which you can probably guess is going to be a subtly variegated mauve. So cannot wait to show that off on the podcast. So yeah, yay! And what else? What else did Molly send me? She sent me a few other goodies with it. This tea that she's been raving about on her podcast. What did I do with it? I think I put it back in my naughty kitty bag. Oh, here it is. And she sent me 4 tea bags of this, and I am already down to the last one, but the Indica chai. And this stuff is so good. Oh my gosh. It's like vanilla. It's like a very light vanilla chai. It's not harsh. You know, you just have a little bit of sugar and cream with it. It's out of this world. I'm not drinking any on the show. I'm holding out. Just, you know, I'm rationing it right now until I can find more. But it's been living in my Naughty Kitty bag, and it smells amazing in here. And yeah, along with the bags that I got, she sent some mini skeins. So, oh my gosh. Okay, let me get all of them here. Okay, lots of mini skeins. So there's this one, which is super fluffy and fuzzy. I don't know, it could be hand spun. Is this hand spun, Molly? Let me know. Then there's this one. And then this really pretty peach one. This would really go, if I could track down some yarn, this yarn again, I would totally knit it with my Mama Ruffle shawl. I don't know, just let me let me pull that out again and show you what I'm thinking. That would be amazing. That would be so pretty. Okay, now I'm second guessing what I want to do with the ruffle part. Because that would be really, really pretty. I don't know, maybe a little too pastel for me, but yeah. And then this blue, back to this one. Blue one. And then this is really cool. I think this is going to be the next one that I knit into my Cozy Memories blanket. This one's really fun. I wonder which one this is. Curious. But yeah, lots of fun. I'm all set with my Cozy Memories blanket, by the way, I think. Lots of, okay. So I'm meaning like I'm set. I have lots of mini skeins to work through. But yeah, I am at a point where I am, it's a rectangle, a full-on rectangle, and I have a lot of ends to weave in, but here's what it looks like. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so this is Lanai. This is another mini skein that Molly sent. It's from Lanai Yarns, and I can't remember which colorway she said it was. I guessed that it was lint liquor, but she's like, no, not lint liquor, which is a name I find hilarious. If you recall, I just purchased a skein from Lanai Yarns, but yeah, I love this like muted blue with like dashes of mauve and hunter green in there. And then these two, I knit in. These are from my swap with Kemper, from the Favorite Things swap that we did from a homespun house. And Kemper was my swap buddy, and she sent me mini skeins also in these awesome, awesome colorways. I don't remember what colorway that was, but I remember seeing it on her show. And then this one is a Madeline Tosh colorway for, I think it was like Maple Leaf or something. I can't remember. But yeah, I knit these two into it. And now I'm like halfway into picking up the stitches on this end. So I don't know what I'm gonna knit next, but yay. And Dennis is actually really liking this. I keep showing my progress to him on this, and he's like, huh, I don't know if he likes it or he's just making fun of me. I don't know. He's like, it's gonna be a blanket, yes. So, okay, and then since I just started talking about Kemper and our swap projects, oh, I forgot to take it down. Oh. All right, I'll just pause later when I show it to you. But yeah, she sent me these mini skeins. And if you don't know Kemper, she is the host of the Junk Yarn podcast, which is awesome. If you have not checked it out, check it out. She's awesome, as I just said. She's on her, I believe, her 4th episode. Yeah, it's brand new, but as I mentioned, it's like she's been podcasting for eons, and you should totally check her out. Yeah, because, yeah, she's awesome. Yeah, there's this colorway. I don't know, she wrote on some of them, but not all of them, but this is really fun. And then there's this blue one, which is really fun. And she wrote this one she wrote on. It has like these little kind of notes of like what yarn it is and what she used it for. I have to go fishing. Okay, then there's this one. This one actually reminds me so much of my first pair of socks, the first yarn that I used to knit my first pair of socks from, and I believe it was from On the Round. But I don't think that's this. It's this yarn was purchased in Woodridge, Illinois. We were visiting Bill's grandparents, and I don't know, I won't read you the whole note, but I don't know, what yarn is it? I don't know, I don't want to take it out. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, she spoiled me also with all these mini skeins. There was another one in here somewhere in the bottomless of, I'm keeping my Cozy Memories blanket in my Lovesock Wool unicorn bag. And I love this bag too. My project bag runneth over. Or I'm just like hoarding project bags at this point. I don't know. But yeah, this is my unicorn one. I love. And yeah, okay. So they're around. I think I have them in my box over there. But anyway, you'll see them when I knit them into my Cozy Memories blanket. Goodness, I need some soda. Okay. But what else? Okay, yeah. But yeah, my what was I talking about? I feel like I'm all over the place. Let me refer back to the show notes. Cozy Memories blanket binding. Okay. Spinning. Okay. My D-spackle. I put a little bit of a dent in it, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. I applaud everyone who is going full on, going strong, and have even finished plying all of your hand spun on your spindles. That is amazing, and I'm continually so impressed and so amazed every time I look in the thread in the Ravelry group. I am having the hardest time with it, and I think it's because I decided to ply on the fly. There's nothing wrong with that, except I am kind of, my mojo for it, or my, what is it? I'm running out of gas for it, is the best way I can describe it, because I'm so, I don't know, I'm just not enjoying it as much as I would like to be. And I think I should have plied singles, because right now the plying on the fly is taking forever. It's just taking way longer than I want to, and I'm already thinking about what I want to spin next, and it's just not good. And I'm not, at this point, I know, everyone's gonna be like, don't give up, you can do it. I know I can do it, but I'm not going to hold myself to the deadline. At this point, if I'm not enjoying it, I'm not going to force myself to do it. As with any project, I feel like if you're not enjoying it, just don't. Life's too short to work on a project that you're just kind of meh about. Knitting should be fun and enjoyable. And right now I'm just not having fun with it anymore. I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to work on it. I'm just not going to be hustling to get it done. Neither should you guys. And as I mentioned, I am easing up the rules for winning a giveaway prize. You don't have to have a shawl completely finished to win a prize. All you need to do to enter to win a giveaway prize is to just have your spinning finished, plied, and ready to knit. Of course, I'm going to be giving out prizes that are appropriate. So for those of you who actually completed the project and knit a shawl, you will be getting a bigger prize, or one of the bigger prizes. And those of you who spun your singles, or just have the yarn ready to knit, you will be winning a smaller prize. So I just want to make it fair, and not that I'm devaluing any of the prizes at all. I don't want to do that in any shape or form, but it's a big prize. Like the spindle from Aaron Make Stuff is a huge prize. The tote bag from Fox and the Fawn is a big prize, and the fuzzlings from Fondant Fibers is a big prize. But then I have a pattern which is a smaller prize, and then the brooches from Molly, a Homespun House, is a smaller prize, which I will show you right now. I know, I'm just trying to, explain the method of how I'm going to be doing this, because I do want it to be fair. So yeah, but Molly generously sent me some brooches to give away as one of the D-spackle prizes. And I'm going to be she gave me a couple, so I'm going to spread them out. Maybe I will... How do I want to do this? Okay, since there are a lot of participants in the despackle. She gave me 3 to give away, and I will give away 2 this time around, but I will hold on to another one for another knit along that I do. So I feel like this is a long episode. But anyway, she sent, where is it? It's a teacup, Molly's teacup. Oops. And it comes with these adorable earrings. So there's a teacup, and I don't know if you can see the earrings. It's a little teapot and a little teacup. There you go. Super cute. And then her birdie one. I think it's called Fly Away With Me. But yeah, and it's like little matching earrings. Super cute. So this will be one of the smaller prizes. If you finish spinning your singles and plying them and it's ready to knit, you will win one of these. You will win a pattern. Not for Molly, someone, I apologize, I am blanking on who the pattern is by, but it's a shawl. It's kind of like a little capelet, very pretty. And yeah, so there's that. And okay, I'm just put these in here for safekeeping. And then other spinning. But yeah, oh, let me show you the spinning that I've been doing. The despackle. I feel like my microphone is weighing down my shirt. Okay, here you go. So yeah, as I mentioned, I tried putting a dent in this last night. I made some headway, but not very much. It just kept breaking the fiber. I was spinning it, and then it was just, I'm out of steam, you guys. I need to put it down for a little bit and then come back to it. Otherwise, I'm not having fun. So, but don't worry, I'm gonna work on it, okay? I'm gonna work on it. This will not go into the abyss, I promise you. So, there's that. And then other spinning that I've been doing on the side. I don't know if you can see, I have been working on my Tallulah, but not that much progress where it's worth bringing her over here and showing it to you. The other spinning that I have been doing, I finished, this is it. No, this is something totally different. Okay, so I had purchased some batlings from Hobbledehoy a while back, and I spun it up on my Golding spindle that went some tipsy diving into my wine a while ago. So since then I had spun up another batling, and this is it. I immediately went for the blue one because, as I mentioned, it reminded me of those Cadbury Easter eggs with the hard shells on them. There you go. So it's really pretty colorway. It has all these it's light blue, but all these random flecks of sari silk. And yeah, I think I'm gonna knit this into my Cozy Memories blanket. But then I immediately went to the hunter green one, which is really pretty. Similar, it has, it's a hunter green, but with all these random flecks of sari silk inside of it. And I've just been single plying this, and then, yeah, just two-plying it from the center pole and then the outer pole, just to create a two-ply. So I've been having fun with that. And some of you have been asking me on the Because You Ask thread, how, when it comes to my despackle, how do I know when to wind it off and create the mini skeins for it? I have just been, so as you know, for my despackle, I know I'm going back and forth, but I'm a little scattered today, apparently. But yeah, these are the mini skeins from my despackle project that I've been working on. And as you asked, some of you asked, how do I know when to take them off my drop spindle? I know when to take them off. It's a personal preference. I'm sure some of you can keep going and going and going until it's really heavy. But for me, once the yarn starts breaking or it just becomes a little too heavy for me to keep pulling on the fly, I just wind it off. So usually when I have about maybe, if I have spun maybe an ounce. So after spinning an ounce, I then unwind it and skein it into a little mini skein. But yeah, there's no right or wrong time. I mean, obviously when you have, like, if your cop is just running over, you know, it might be time to unwind it, but you know, normally if it's just getting heavy or the fiber starts breaking more frequently, that's when I unload, so to speak. So yeah, and then yeah, that's it for spinning. I'm going to talk about stash enhancement, or treat yourself, as I like to call this segment. I've been wanting to try, I've purchased fiber from Quarry Fibers in the past, and I've spun the hand spun and it spun up beautifully, but I've always wanted to try her tweed yarn as well. So this one colorway caught my eye on Etsy, because yeah, there was an Etsy incident apparently. So I purchased this skein, and it's called It's by Quarry Fibers, in the Fairy Dust colorway, and it's 85% superwash merino, 15% nep or nylon, which is the little tweed specks in there. So yeah, it's really, really pretty. Lots of teals. Hello. There we go. So I love that colorway. Okay, other stash enhancements, which is actually really funny because I was watching yesterday, funnily enough. Is that a word, funnily? Funny enough? I don't know. I was watching the Little Bobbins Knits podcast with Danny, and she had purchased the same yarn that I did from the same place. And I had been wanting to try, I want to try knitting more with tweed, because Molly from a Homespun House highly recommended Legia. I asked her how to pronounce Regia, because normally I pronounce it Regia, but as Molly mentioned it, I'm mentioning Molly a lot this episode. I wonder why. I think we just talk a lot during the week. So, but yeah, I asked her, I'm like, how do you pronounce Regia? Is it Regia or how? And she said, well, if you're from the south of Germany, which she thinks that my family is from, which I believe it to be true, because a lot of my family rolls their R's. You know, my grandmother and my aunt, they always roll their R's like that. But she says if you're from the north, you roll the R in the back of your throat. So it's like, you know, like Legia, or Legia. I'm still trying to pronounce it that way, but I don't know. That's like a R as opposed to a R. So, but yeah, I don't think it's personal preference, I guess. If you're not German, I don't know. So Legia. I purchased the skein of 40180, which is very fitting, and I believe Danny purchased the same exact skein or colorway, and it's this really cool sandy heather, I want to say, but then it has like these really cool multicolored flecks in there. So you have yellow, green, light blue, and red, and dark blue. So these are definitely going to be a pair of socks. Probably for me. I don't know. Maybe for Dennis. I have to think about it, you know. And then, because they were having free shipping, and living in the States, purchasing from the UK can get quite pricey. So I totally took advantage of that. So I got free shipping on this, which is pretty awesome. Especially with UK prices. But I also purchased a skein of this, which is colorway 514, or is it 07306? It's their Legia Fadig color. So which I believe 4 is pronounced 1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, yeah. So 4 Fadig color. So yeah. And they're gonna knit up really, not stripy, but very variegated. And there's some plums, there's some light lavenders, light browns, mocha brown, some gold, some hunter green, teal, I don't know, all my colors. So, and they package everything really pretty. It came in this kind of sachet bag and some candy and, oh my gosh. So that's the enabling for this week. And then I have my care package from Kemper. So I'm gonna pause right here and go get the stuff. So as I mentioned, I was a part of the Homespun House's favorite thing swap, and me and Kemper got matched up, and Kemper of the Junk Yarn podcast, and so I sent her a package of my favorite things, and then she sent me a package of her favorite things, like yarn related, and not so yarn related also. So yeah, as I mentioned, she sent me 6 mini skeins, which are so pretty. I am down to 4. Because as I showed you in my Cozy Memories blanket, I knit 2 of them into squares. So here's one. And she wrote again on the inside what each yarn is and where they're from. It's a really pretty sparkly one, which I love. And this candy colored one. And then, as I mentioned, the hot pink one. And then like this really cool blue one. So I showed these to you guys already, so I won't show them to you any longer, but she also sent me this really awesome postcard, and she wrote the colors in this card reminded me of a colorway you'd come up with. You are so right, Kemper. I would totally dye up a colorway this color, and I might just have to, because yeah, it has everything in here, like grays, light pinks, purples, blacks. Oh my gosh, yeah, and it's so cool. I put this on my bulletin board that's in front of my desk. Which I just got actually. I've always wanted a bulletin board just to kind of like keep all my favorite letters from friends or business cards or little swatches. I'm bringing up Dana again because I went over her house and she had this massive bulletin board of all that type of stuff. So I was totally inspired and definitely want to kind of replicate that, especially when we move into me and Dennis's new house. But in my work area, I want to get a giant bulletin board and just kind of create this massive mood board of things. So yeah, but I've been keeping this on the bulletin board because it's so awesome. And then she sent me some tea, which I already tore into. She actually we sent each other the same exact tea, which I totally forgot that I did that. But yeah, I realized I sent her some Yogi Cocoa Spice, Mine Cocoa Spice by Yogi, and she sent me one. So we really did a swap. So yeah, it is a really good tea. And Kemper says that it's kind of like the closest thing you can get to tea tasting like coffee if you can't have coffee. I mean, there is like a minimal amount of caffeine in here, but not compared to coffee, full caffeinated. So yeah, but it's really good. And then she sent me, what was it? Pure Peppermint Herbal Tea by Twinings. Love peppermint. And then I already forgot the other one that she sent me. I think it was a chai tea, if I'm not mistaken, but I already drank it, and whatever it was delicious, clearly. 'Cause yeah, I'm really getting into teas lately. I wonder why. But there's that, and then, oh wait, okay, I'll show you that one last. But she sent me a Hello Kitty tin, and it's filled with these strawberry sour candies on the inside, which are actually quite good. I mean, they're very strawberry. They're awesome. But I love it. It makes me smile. I have it like on my shelf. And then the most awesome thing that she sent me that she made, that I think is probably like the best thing ever, this pin. It's, I don't know if you can see it, but I think she drew it on one of those sheets that's made of shrinky dink material. She colored it in, and it's a Llamacorn. It's a llama, a purple llama with a unicorn horn. And it says Liebe, meaning love in German. And it is so awesome. Kemper, this is amazing. I should just wear 2 brooches like that. And it'd be like the cat and the Llamacorn. It's the best thing going. Oh my gosh, but this is so cool. So yeah, that's been on my bulletin board also. Yeah, I'm kind of collecting like it's becoming a little collage, and I like it. I like the way it's developing. Yeah. But this is so cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it makes me smile every time I look at it. So yeah, that was really fun to get during the week. I think I got it last Wednesday, so that was fun to really open up. And I have to say, her packaging is super cool. She's definitely got an eye for putting colors together and making everything look awesome when you get it in the mail. It definitely made me smile. So Kemper, thank you. I was so psyched to get that. And I'm glad to hear that you got yours and you liked what I sent you. So yay, awesome swap. So what else? I feel like I'm talking about, okay, other favorite things, because I have clearly other favorite things that I'd like to talk about. Speaking of tea, I found, this is new that I found in the grocery store that I am obsessed with. It's chai, Twinings. You're probably familiar, chai, with their chai line, but they have a new one called hazelnut. So if you love nougat, and I love nougat, it's a hazelnut flavored chocolate. This is like drinking chai tea, hazelnut, or blah, 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 nougaty chai hot chocolate. That's what this tastes like. Just a little bit of cream, a little bit of sugar. Oh my God, it is so good. How I am not halfway done with this, I'm getting close. And the smell, it is so out of this world. So yeah, I've been drinking that. I've been drinking all my swap teas. It's so funny because every podcast that I've watched that has been involved in a swap or something, they've at least tried one brand or flavor of tea that I have also tried from a swap or anything. For example, like I was watching Melody's podcast, Mandarins, and she tried the Genmai Cha flavor, and I was like, I tried that one. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I like this tea thing that's going around. It's very cool. They're almost like postcards, you know? It's like if you can't send a postcard, send some tea. So I think that's very cool. But yeah. And I think that's all that I have for you this week. If not, I'm going to go on to shop update because I do have some shop update stuff. So yeah, if you're not interested, I will see you next week. Happy knitting. Otherwise, let's move on to what I have coming up in the shop. So as you know, I updated the shop last Monday. It was a small update, but I did introduce sock blanks, which, by the way, I am having so much fun dyeing. And I may have to just order some more. I only ordered like a small amount to stock in my shop. Just kind of give them a test drive, but I think that I will be dyeing a whole bunch more because they are super fun. And I have to say, Danny of the Little Bobbins Knits podcast inspired me. I know she mentioned that I started dyeing some sock blinks on her podcast that I watched yesterday, or was it Monday? I forget. But yeah, she mentioned, thank you, Danny. I'm so glad you're excited about that. But I have to say, I have to give her credit. I had ordered sock blanks several months ago, and I just never got around to dyeing them. But then I saw the one that she was working on, and I was like, you know what? I want to give it a try. I want to try dyeing sock blanks. And yeah, so she definitely got me started on that. So thank you, Danny, for kicking me in the butt to just start throwing that in the dye pot. But I have some to show you. The two that I listed 3, and there's only one more left, but then I'm going to list two more on Friday. So I'll show you the ones that I've left. Okay, this is the one that's in the shop right now. And this is called Spring Fever. It's this awesome magenta strip of stockinette. And if you're not familiar what sock blanks are, as you can see, they are long strips of knit stockinette in fingering weight yarn. And the idea is you can start on either side, but there's like, I won't unravel this all the way, but there's like some loose yarn here, and you just pull and rip and rip and rip, and you just knit from it. You knit from the sock blank, and you just unravel it as you go. And yes, the yarn will be crinkly. There's nothing you can really do about that, but it doesn't really affect your knitting. I mean, you may want to downsize your needles just to kind of compensate for the crinkle that will get worked into your knitting. But once you block it, it will be totally smooth. So here's that again. So yeah, these are, I can't tell you, I keep saying that they're just so fun to dye up, and they really are. It's like a blank canvas, and you can, if I had more space to spread out, which I will eventually, I'm gonna have so much fun just like hand painting these, and can go crazy. I haven't named this one yet, but It's really cool. Lots of speckles. It's very, very earthy and green and blue. Reminds me of the earth. I don't know. Yeah, so there's that one. And then this one, I am naming, I have no idea why, it's the name that came to mind, Too Much Party Dress. So it's like this very cool rosy mauve underneath, but then on top it's like reckless splatter paint. So there's that. So yeah, these will go in the shop on Friday, and then if all goes well and you guys like it, I will definitely dye up some more. And then for some reason I was thinking, because of the weather, it's been nicer. I just have been super anxious about the beach and just summer in general. I can't wait for it to come around again, obviously. So I just found myself dyeing all these beachy kind of summery or just like very subtle, soft colorways. And this is one that I'm super excited about. I haven't named it yet, but it definitely reminds me of like a seashell. It's this very soft pink, peachy sandy pink. And then it has these little subtle dashes of light blue. I don't know if, I think the camera's picking that up. Yeah. So I haven't named it yet, but it's definitely gonna be like a shell or maybe conch. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There's that. And then I have, this is on my Lush base. I have 2 on Lush, and then I have 2 on my Blitzed base. So that will be going into the shop also. And then, let me see, I dyed this up on my Smitten DK, and I will be dyeing some more of it up on some fingering weight. I haven't named it yet either, but it's kind of like a dark and stormy kind of like dark blackish brown with like blue undertones. And the camera's reading this very well, by the way. So that's on my Smitten base. So I have 3 of those. And then, I totally forgot to bring over my other Tough Chicky. Okay, that one will be in stock all the way up till Easter. So I will make that available for pre-order. I'll be refreshing the listing every week just so I'm not like inundated, and I want to get shipments out to you as soon as I can. I don't want you guys hanging. Although if you do order a custom order from me, please do allow maybe like 5 to 7 business days for me to get it out to you, because I'm one person. So just FYI. But yes, Tough Chicky will be made available up until Easter, which I believe is like the beginning of April. It might be April 4th. I could be wrong, but show notes. Or Google. Yeah, so that will be in the shop, and I have some other colorways that are in there right now. So, but those are the main ones that I have to. Oh no, okay. I've been mentioning this. I feel like I forgot to mention it last week, which I should have, because we recorded the episode yesterday. The Great Big Shiny Dye Experiment, hosted by the FO and Dye podcast. That's Ellie and Dave. He recruited Ellie, me, and Laura, and Ginny from the Penguin Soup Knits podcast and Yarns to do a round 2 of the Big Shiny Dye Experiment, which, if you remember, last time around we were all supposed to dye our version of the 7 Wonders of the Natural World. So this time around, the theme was Puff the Magic Dragon, which is super fun. Oh my gosh. So we recorded the episode yesterday. We had no idea what anyone was dyeing up or their plans or anything. So I will post a link to that episode. It's going to be, because it's hosted by the FO and Dye podcast, it'll be on their YouTube page or their website. But yeah, so we all Skyped yesterday and showed off what we had, and funnily enough, we all dyed on our sparkly base, and totally different outcomes on all ends. And here's mine. So this is my version of Puff the Magic Dragon. And because I listened to the song, like not repetitively, but I listened to it a few times, and the main line that stood out to me was, hello camera. Okay. So, the main lyric that stood out to me was Autumn Mist. So that's pretty much what I dyed up. If Puff the Magic Dragon had an autumn mist, this would be it. So yeah, it's like this teal, like the base color is this bright, I don't know, grayish teal, but then it has like this really cool kind of lavender part to it. And then these hunter green speckles and orange speckles. So kind of autumny, but with kind of like a dragony kind of base to it. And I will make this available in the shop for Friday. I will dye up a limited batch of it over the course of 2 weeks, I think. So yeah, it will be available to purchase on various bases. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, so excited about it. This is really fun. And we're definitely going to be doing a Big Shiny Dye Experiment Part 3. So we'll see. We're going to, Dave and Ellie are going to try and get some other hand dyers in on it. But me, Laura, and Ginny are definitely going to be part of it. So it's a lot of fun. And, you know, it's definitely like a really good creative exercise for us. And it's just fun to see what other people dye up, their own interpretation of a theme. So yeah, there's that. So other than that, blather. What do I have to talk about? Nothing really. Well, Dennis is going snowboarding this weekend, so I am going to have the whole weekend to myself. I could have gone with him. He wanted me to go with him, but I don't snowboard. I don't like the cold. I am so over the cold. I am just happy to be enjoying some alone time this weekend, getting some knitting done, relaxing, maybe some work. I don't know if I have any overlap, I'll just do that. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to a little bit of quiet time this weekend. Yeah, and what else? We watched RoboCop last night, the new one. I don't know if any of you have seen it. I'm not a fan. I'll be honest, it was okay. I'm not really into like it takes a lot for me to like sci-fi. It really, like, Outlander is one thing. It's sci-fi, and Doctor Who is sci-fi, and you know, there has to be some kind of like historical drama going on or something, but I don't know. RoboCop, not my thing. Although I did recognize the main actor. I think the main actor is, if you've watched the American version of The Killing, the main character, her partner in that show played RoboCop. So that was exciting. I was like, hey, I recognize that guy. But in general, I have to be honest, I am not a fan of crime or thriller dramas. I don't generally gravitate towards mysteries or, you know, those type of things. Yeah, I like the historical dramas better, which is why, like, we started watching Blacklist with James Spader, who I love, but I'm just not liking the Blacklist, which is, again, I feel like it's a take on, what's that show, with Glenn Close and, I'm blanking, Damages, which is it's an okay show, again, like the same crime, but it's the total, I feel like it's a total ripoff of that show. And they found an actress to look exactly like the main girl on that show. So I always get those guys confused. Anyway, but yeah, I just felt like ranting about that for a little bit. But I can't wait for Outlander to come back. It's coming back next week, or not next week, next month in April. So I think there's gonna be like 6 more episodes of that before the next season. So yeah, we're gonna, me, Maria from the Subway Knits podcast, Jasmine from the Knit More Girls podcast, and Cece from the Geeky Girls Knits podcast. We're gonna ramp up the Kilt Me Now Cal. So we're gonna, anyone can participate in it. Just, it's an Instagram knit along, just hashtag Kilt Me Now. Anything of or relating to the series of Outlander, anything that's Scottish. If it's not Scottish, it's crap and doesn't count. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. I will be giving away some prizes for that. I haven't decided how I'm gonna, because it's an Instagram giveaway, or Instagram knit along. It's gonna be a little difficult for me to decide how I'm gonna go about delegating prizes, but I'll find a legitimate way of doing it, legitimate and fair way of doing it. But it's gonna be so much fun. And Once Upon a Time came back. I know I'm talking about TV shows. Why? I don't know. Because, yeah, this is what I've been doing, guys. But yeah, Once Upon a Time came back on the air. They went on a winter hiatus, like, apparently. So very excited about that. And that's all I'll say about that. So, yeah, other than that, it is Wednesday afternoon. And I am going to get a few more things done, maybe some dyeing in today, and then after that I'm just gonna sit and knit. So that said, I will see you next time, everyone, and happy knitting. Bye.